of what we're here to do today, and that is to react to my pre-season predictions. So I did that on the LFS podcast before you saw my wonderful looking face on the LFS podcast way early in the season. This was in August, I believe it was 11th of August, something like that. So it was early August before the season had started, and I did these predictions on the LFS podcast. Oh, something's happening. There was something happening there. I don't know what that was all about. Computer's having a little bit of fun with me now. Yeah, I did those predictions in August. So I put each team, ranked them from 20th to 1st in order. And as I said, I'll do the points tally system. So 3 for spot on. If I got the position correct, and I think I wrote explanations. I still have the document of the explanations of... I don't know what's going on here. Hold on, I'll try and cancel out a few things. I think it might be this. It's working now. Very strange. I do apologise. I do apologise for the lag. I don't know what that's about, but it might be that browser. It's a little bit laggy, but we'll soldier through. I think we should be okay. It just lags every now and again. It's very strange. Very strange. So as I was saying, yeah, I know. The computer is... I don't know what's going on, but it's fine now from what I can see. But it's every now and again. But it should be okay now, hopefully, for you. Right, so as I was saying, the point system, 3 points if I got the position spot on, 2 for 1 away, 1 point if I was 2 positions away, and then 0 points if I was well off. And there are some of them that I am massively well off the mark on, certainly so. So I will go through them, and as I said, I still have the document of which I prepared for this live way back in August, and I still have the explanation. So I'll read the explanation. We'll see if it's actually correct, if I was spot on or not. So let's start, if this works, hopefully. The year last year. But let's see then. Let's start with relegation. Now, here we go. There we go. Right. Luckily, I didn't do them one by one because we'll be here for the next weeks. But I did them with a good chunk of each team. So the bottom 3, I did my 3 relegated sides. Start with 20th. Spot on. 3 points for Southampton. My explanation for Southampton, I think this is incredibly harsh, but it's incredibly true. I wrote, just plain awful, Russell Martin sacked and the team fall apart and relegated in April. Is that not spot on? He was sacked. They were relegated very early in the season. I think it was April they were relegated, and they were playing awful. They were one of the worst Premier League sides we've ever seen. I'll give myself 3 points there because I was absolutely spot on. I think a lot of people were spot on at Southampton, we're talking about here at the end of the day. So Southampton in 20th, and they did finish 20th, 12 points. 2 wins out of 38 this season. That's dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. 19th, I had Nottingham Forest. Now, this is something you might find a bit funny. Nottingham Forest, this is what I wrote. Inconsistent and just not enough quality in the squad or team. That was what I explained about Nottingham Forest. They finished 7th. They finished 7th. I don't think anybody would have predicted 7th, and I wasn't on my own in saying that Nottingham Forest would be relegated, but that's a hooner. That's an awful prediction. An absolutely awful one. And give me obviously 0 points. I'm more than 3 spots away. I'm a good 12 spots away from where Nottingham Forest actually ended up. So that's a dreadful. I do think they were inconsistent though. And there's not enough quality. But I don't think there was enough quality for the Champions League. I was not thinking in that scenario when I wrote that. Certainly not. To my 18th place team, and I put Leicester in 18th, and I got that spot on. 3 points, certainly. Leicester finished 18th in the league. 25 points, 6 wins out of 38. They actually won 2 of their last 5 Premier League games. Lost 25 in total and conceded 80 goals, which is quite remarkable for Leicester. Terrible. I went off on a rant on them yesterday, if you want to go back and watch that, because that was... yeah, I went on a full rant about Leicester yesterday. My explanation for why I put them 18th back in August was not good enough. Steve Cooper sacked, and interim can't get best out of team. I think it was spot on again there. They're not good enough. Steve Cooper was sacked early, and the interim, the man who came in his place, Ruud van Nistelrooy didn't get anything good enough out of Leicester. I'm quite pleased about this. I don't think I was the genius. I'm not Nostradamus in my predictions. I think a lot of people would have put Leicester and Southampton in their bottom three, and some people definitely put Ipswich. Yeah. Jonas is 6 points out of 9 for 4 grabs so far. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Although I wouldn't get too excited because I've looked at these before. I even had a look at them yesterday. I've printed on my wall, and I've been looking all season and going, oh, I don't know how well I'm doing, because I want to keep a track of them all through the season, and I did, and it's certainly not one to behold. Right, let's move on. These are the 3 teams that have 6 points out of a possible 9 so far. Starting from the bottom then.
This must be the most popular
fantastic. Lovely. Love these adverts. I mean, I put them on myself, but... Right, moving on. Hurry up. I waffled a lot. Did a lot of waffling. Don't do this to me now, YouTube. Terrible. Hurry up. Jesus, I waffled a long time. Who was watching this? Right, there we go. That would probably would have been easier. Just go down looking for the thumbnail. Right, so these are the 3 teams I put above the bottom 3. So 17th, 16th, and 15th. I put these teams. Oh, goodness me. This is not good. So Ipswich, I put 17th. I said they would just about survive, gain consistency towards the end of the season. Well, that was wrong, wasn't it? They were relegated. However, I still get a point because I was 2 away. So I was 2 off where they actually finished. So I still get a point out of that one. So thank you very much. Fulham. Oh. I put Fulham 16th. I said Marco Silva sacked and Fulham struggled to score goals and defend. What? Marco Silva sacked? I mean, my goodness, I couldn't have been more wrong. Didn't he get a new contract this season? Jesus God, that was a terrible one. They finished 11th, Fulham, so I was 5 places off there, so no points. Nil points for Fulham, because I was 5 spaces away from them. Wolves, I put 15th. I was bit kind to Wolves, actually. They finished 16th this season, so I was 1 place off. But I said about Wolves, lost some big players, but continue to survive on youth players performing. I don't think I'm too wrong there. I probably didn't expect Matheus Cunha to be as impactful. I think that was a little bit of an oversight, on my opinion. I think I should have predicted that he would get a... have a good season at Wolves and possibly move, in which it looks like he is going to move. So Wolves, I put 15th in my predictions. They finished 16th in the table, so I give myself 2 points because I was only 1 space away. Right, going well so far. I have got, what's that, 9 points out of a possible 9 out of 18. I'll take that so far. Considering I put Nottingham Forest 19th and they finished 7th, I'll take that. I'll take what the points that I've got so far. Moving to, grouping of 4 now. 14th to 11th. Let's move up then. 14th place I put Brighton. Oh, very wrong. I said no real excitement from Brighton again. Mediocre Premier League side, no relegation threat. Well, I was right in the no relegation threat. No real excitement. Jesus, I was brutal. That's a 0, definitely. They finished 8th. So they're 6 points away, 6 places off there, so definitely not right. But no real excitement. Jesus. A mediocre Premier League side. My God, that was harsh. How many points did they finish off? Jesus. They finished 18 points higher than 14th. 18 points Brighton finished higher than the team that did finish 14th, which was West Ham United. Wow. Wow, was I wrong. But well done to Brighton. They had a very good season this season. Unfortunate not to get European football. Next, I put Bournemouth in 13th. I said decent season under Iraola, but no Solanke could be a problem. I remember that was an issue. That was something like, who are they going to get to replace Solanke? Because Solanke did really well with Bournemouth last season, and I think I over kind of compensated for the fact that Solanke being gone might cause Bournemouth problems. In the end, it very much didn't, because they had more than enough firepower to get them through. Where did they finish? They finished ninth, so it's 4 places off, so no, 0 points again. Ooh, falling away a little bit here. I gotta say though, the mid-table sides are the hardest to predict, because they can, like, there was not many points between them in the end of the season, and it's very tough because there's a lot of competition for the mid-table, and this season was very um, average, or very competitive. Sorry, I'm just reading Brentford. So Brentford in 12th. I put Brentford in 12th, predicted them in 12th. They finished 10th. And I said average campaign, but struggle in certain areas of the pitch still. Ooh, I don't know what I meant by that, but I wouldn't say I was too far off. They're an average side. They're doing well. But I think it was a little bit harsh. Finishing 10th is a little bit harsh on them. I'm thankful they finished 10th because I get some points, because I was only 2 spots away, which gets me a point out of this. But I'm thankful they finished 10th because it helps me on my points tally. But yeah, 10th was a little bit harsh on Brentford, I think. You know, they could have finished 8th on the final day, and at one point on the final day, they were 8th in the table. But they finished 10th, of course, with that draw with Wolves on the final day. Right, the team that I put 11th is West Ham. And I said, no, not a great season. Lots of new players, but don't perform to the level much. Well, I think I was right there. I think I might have over-empted West Ham. I said that not lots of new players, but don't perform to the level much. I think that I should have put them lower. If I said that, I should have put them lower than 11th. They did finish 14th, West Ham, so I was 3 places off, so I get nothing out of that. Fantastic. I'm on a good roll here. 4 zeros in the last 6 predictions. Fantastic. Yeah. West Ham had a poor season, I'd say. As I said yesterday in that season review, Julian Lopetegui, Graham Potter, there's quality in that West Ham side that's clear, but is it good enough to be competing for Europe? Clearly not this season. And were the two managers getting the best out of the squad? I don't think so. I don't know if Graham Potter will be there in August or not. There's been nothing to hint otherwise, but I'm not too sure. Right, 10th, I put Everton. Oh, hold on. I'm spoiling it. I'm spoiling it. I forgot completely about the video. I'm spoiling it for you. Waffle. I'm a waffler. You know that. I'm a waffler. Piss off, advertisements. Go away. There we go. Right. So this is my 10th to 8th in my predictions. 10th I put Everton. I said perform under Dyche after points deduction problems last season at Goodison Park. So I knew it was the last season at Goodison Park. Well done. Fantastic. I said they perform under Sean Dyche. Well, I got that one wrong, didn't I? They didn't do particularly well under Sean Dyche. I think they were one of the bottom teams. They were one of the bottom 4, bottom 5 when Sean Dyche was in charge. And then, of course, they finished 13th, Everton, when David Moyes came in, and certainly a massive uptick in form. Did I give myself points for the West Ham one? No, did I? Let me count. Sorry, hold on. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 20, 12, 11. Yeah, I did. So 0 points for Everton because they finished 13th and I put them 10th, so that's 3 or more places. It's not looking good at the moment. Not looking good at all here for the predictions. So Everton in 10th, they finished 13th, so I got nothing for that. Crystal Palace, I said in 9th for this season. They finished 12th. Oh, it's so frustrating as well. There's a couple of teams that have 3 places off where they actually finished. 3 places, and it's just outside getting me a point. Palace are the same. They finished 12th. I had them predicted 9th, so I'm 3 places off, so no points for Palace on Palace prediction. But I said a very good campaign under Glasner. Despite losses, they have a great team. Well, they do have a great team, and they had a very good season under Oliver Glasner. I got that right, but I just didn't predict the position right. It's a very good Palace season. It's Crystal Palace's loved position in 12th. Next season, no matter what, I'm just going to put Palace in 12th. That's my early prediction. I'm just going to put them in 12th because they always finish in and around that position. And if I give them that, there's a guarantee maybe next season when I do this that I'll get some more points. But nothing for Palace. Oh, my God. Another one I'm not going to get any points on. Chelsea, I had them finishing 8th. Oh, goodness. I said chop and change and no consistency from Chelsea. Another building season. Well, I'm right on some fronts there. There was a lack of consistency halfway through the season, but towards the end of the season, they picked up some form that we didn't think was possible from Chelsea under Enzo Maresca, and they did a great job towards the end of the campaign. So 0 points for Chelsea prediction, but Chelsea did a great had a great season. They finished fourth in the end, getting Champions League football, which is all well and good for them. And yeah, I certainly didn't have them finishing in the position I did, or in the position they did in the season, and that was a little bit naughty from me. Eighth there, so I've got 0 points on the last four predictions. Jesus God. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get many more points either here when it comes. There we are. So these are my European sides. So I gotta say, at this point, we didn't know whether fifth would be a Premier League, a Champions League spot or not. Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't really make a massive difference. But this is what I predicted for seventh Conference League. I had Newcastle in seventh. I said Newcastle, Eddie Howe coming to his end and has brought Newcastle to his ceiling. Jesus, I was wrong again. I said Newcastle were coming to he was coming to an end, and he brought Newcastle to his ceiling, what he was capable of getting them to. Ooh. Well, he won them a trophy for the first time in 70 years and got them Champions League football, so I was wrong there. But I still get a point because I was only 2 places off, so I get a point. Way, fantastic. I was 2 places off for Newcastle there in 7th. The next one I'm very happy with. Aston Villa, I predicted 6th. They finished 6th. I said UCL football, Champions League football hampers their squad, and injuries may be a problem. Lack depth. I think I'm right there. Villa lacked a little bit of depth this season. I think the Champions League didn't massively harm them. It actually might have helped them a little bit. I mean, they had struggles after European games, but the Champions League, they got to the quarterfinals. They did incredibly well, and I get the spot on. That's only my third 3 points of the prediction. My only others that I've got spot on were the 2 of the bottom 3. So yeah, great one on Villa there. Fantastic prediction. Right. This one, very much not. This is as bad as Forest. But then again, no one could have seen this coming. A lot of people put Man United where I put them. I put them in 5th. I said they'd struggle with injuries again, but with a fit squad, make a late push for Champions League. Jesus, I couldn't be more wrong. Absolutely dreadful. Our Manchester United, they finished 15th. If I put a 1 in front of that 5, I'm completely correct, but I didn't. I put them 5th, and they were 10 places off where they actually finished. They did struggle with injuries, that's fair enough. That's pretty fair. They struggled with injuries, certainly, but a fit squad make a late push. I don't think they ever had a fit squad this season. They've had terrible injury problems. But listen, who cares about what Man United are? They're rubbish. They're shite. We know all that. But I think a lot of people did put Man United up there. 0 for that. Most definitely 0 for that because they were awful. Jason says, to be fair, I had United above Liverpool. I remember you telling me that. I remember you saying that to me. Yeah, there was no way I was putting United over Liverpool. Only an idiot would do that. But 5th looks like a bit of an idiot thing to have put them anyway. Right, so 5th, Man United, get 0 points for that because they were finished in 15th. Right, moving on to our top 4. I think I did 4th, 5th, 3rd and 2nd, and then I did the champions. So you'll find out who I have my champions. Anyway, so these are my Champions League teams. Oh, Jesus Christ. Advertisement. Come on. At least they're short. You can't say that all the time for YouTube adverts. Anyway, this is as bad as the Man United one. I had Spurs finish. Hold on, actually. Hold on. They didn't finish in the Champions League position. They did get Champions League through the Europa League. I don't know. I'm not going to give myself a point for it, but in some weird way, it worked out. They did get Champions League, but not through league position. But yeah, they definitely didn't finish 4th. They finished 17th, did Spurs. I mean, they were the worst side in the Premier League that didn't get relegated. No one could have seen that coming. Ange Postecoglou, massively. What an absolute... What's a word I could use? Shambles. That's a good word. Shambles. Shambolic season from Spurs. I said this... Don't even. Great season for Spurs. Ange gets a grip with the team and the system. Well, that's not true at all. The system has been terrible. They have been shipping goals for fun all throughout the season. They've not ever got to grips with the system whatsoever. It's been terribly kind of tactically dealt with by Ange until the Europa League final. I said this yesterday in the season review. Everything was going well, like everything was going badly, sorry, until the Europa League final. They decided to go, do you know what? We're not going to press high. We're not going to throw our line forward. We're not going to throw bodies forward for the sake of it to attack a team when we know there's a threat in behind. Yeah, let's sit back, let's sit deep, and stop Man United from scoring. It got them a result. Fantastic. And it got them a trophy, most crucially. I'll put this 0 down just before I forget. But, yeah, that was a terrible prediction. They still got a trophy, which for any Spurs fan would be a great season. 17 years done and dusted. Just another Andy says, seriously, you need to dock points for United and Spurs. Believe me, if I dock any points, I'll get no points here. It's not looking well. I'll show you the tally in a minute, but it does not look well for this one. Right, our top three. At least I got the top three right. Not in the right positions, but the top three in the right, the right three teams. I had Liverpool finishing third, which is wrong. Obviously, they finished as the champions, and they finished first, so they're 2 places off, so I get 1 point for that. I'll take that. I think I was very coy on Liverpool this season. I didn't... Usually, I would put them in the top 2 when they were under Jurgen Klopp, because I thought, you have Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, they would always be in a title race. But I think this season, uncharted territory with Liverpool, we didn't know whether Arne Slot would be good enough or not. So I just decided, if they make Champions League, that would be a good season for Liverpool. And it would have been a very good season for Liverpool. Champions League and a good cup run would have been great for them in the first season under Arne Slot. But he's absolutely massively exceeded expectations beyond belief. And Liverpool finishing third was an understatement there. Said very good first season under Slot. But consistency is the big issue early on. Oh, well, I was wrong on that one as well. They were very consistent this season, Liverpool. And they had a lot of that, champions-like mentality halfway through the season. I think there was many a game where Liverpool were maybe not the best side for the full 90 minutes, but what they did was eke out a result. You would eke out a result in that sense. They would get over the line, even when they weren't playing well, they'd still win a game. The West Ham game at home recently, when they hadn't won the league, hairs everywhere, hadn't won the league, and they conceded late own goal, and then they went on to get that winner. So they certainly had that ability to get results when they weren't at their best, and I don't think anybody thought that they would be champions. I certainly didn't, and I've had them third, which I don't think is an awful prediction. I think a lot of people put them in and around that position. I don't think anybody predicted them to be as champions. Right, I'll move on to the top 2 in a moment. You know who's where. I got them the wrong way round. Just another one. He says, as an Arsenal fan, I'd swap seasons with Spurs. Second means nothing. Trophies are what it's about. Are you saying you would finish 17th and get a trophy if that, instead of finishing second with no trophies? Have I gathered that right? I mean, I can understand Arsenal need trophies, and we've talked about this before, and I'll get to that in a moment when I get to Arsenal, but they need trophies, and Spurs have got one. I mean, how many of their rivals have actually got a trophy this season for Arsenal? How many teams in and around them have got trophies but them? Speaking of 2 teams without trophies this season, Manchester City I had in second, and they were 1 place off, so I get 2 points for that one. Go me. 2 points for that. I mean, no one could have predicted what was going to happen to Manchester City this season either. But I said just fall short. But again, tight title race. Arsenal don't... Fuck the mentality thing. What did I mean by that? Oh, right. They were... yes. They were... there was talk early in the season that Arsenal didn't have the mentality to win the title. All that rubbish. I mean, they don't. But no, it certainly wasn't rubbish back then. But I said they wouldn't mess that up. Well, I was wrong on that as well. And I said Man City would fall short. And they certainly fell short of the expectations we expected of them this season. But they still got Champions League. They still finished third. I mean, that's not horrible. They actually only finished 3 points off Arsenal. They won more games than Arsenal. Jesus Christ of Almighty. I mean, that's mental. City lost 5 more games than Arsenal, but won 1 more. Arsenal drew 14 games. They wonder why they didn't win the title. You can't draw 14 games in a season and expect to be champions. Right, so that's 2 points for the top 3 of the top 4 there. And my champions, I had... This is the funniest graphic I've ever made. Right, waiting the advert. Fantastic. Love the adverts. Absolutely fantastic. Champions, Arsenal. Very wrong, but I still get 2 points because they finished second, and I had them finishing first, so I can still get 2 points there. I'll take that. I'll take it all day long, because Arsenal absolutely fucked it again. What a surprise for Arsenal. I said Arsenal need to put down a marker. They have all the tools. Well, they certainly have all the tools, they just don't use them right. And they certainly don't have enough of a squad, in my opinion. They certainly didn't put down a marker. Certainly did not. 14 draws. That's taken me by surprise. They didn't get to 70 goals. They finished with 96 or 69 goals scored. I mean, it baffles me how Arsenal fans thought they were going to win the league. They were very good defensively. Best defence in the league. But goals suffered because of that. Definitely. Why am I singing that? Yeah, Arsenal's champions. Awful prediction. Awful. Right, I have a few other ones other than positions. Now, if I get... so I had Golden Boot, Surprise Package, Player of the Season, and Young Player of the Season I predicted. If I get any of them right, I get 3 points. If I get none, if I don't get it right at all, I get 0. So there's no 2 and 1. It's 3 or 0. So for my... Did I do a graphic for them? I did. I did do a graphic. So these are my other predictions. Golden Boot at Erling Haaland, so that was wrong. So 0 on that front. Surprise Package, Crystal Palace. Anybody willing to give me that? They won the FA Cup. No one predicted they would win the FA Cup. I think I should get... Should I get 3 points for that? I don't know. I don't want to push for it too much. I think I should, though. No one predicted Crystal Palace. Everybody said, oh, Crystal Palace, they'll fall away. Nobody will do not. They won an FA Cup. They won their first ever trophy against Manchester City in a Wembley final. Yeah. I'm not saying any of the other predictions are right. Martin Odegaard is the player of the season. I did that obviously because I thought Arsenal were going to win the league and he was going to be their most impactful player. Clearly not. And Harvey Elliott is the young player of the season. Well, that's not true either, because he didn't win that award, so that's 0. I still think I should get 3 points for the Palace one, though. I don't know. Points for Palace seems fair. Fair enough. Thank you very much for that. 3 points. I need the points. I need them. I dread to even count these up because it's out of 60. It'll be out of 72 now because the extra sets. But oh, I dread to see this. Right. Just a couple of comments. Jonas says, I wrote down the place you guessed, the points you got, and the actual place and team name points out of 60 average points. A team, but it's too many characters. Yeah, I've taken note of it, so I do have it. Points for Palace should be deducted for Harvey Elliott. Listen. If Harvey Elliott got the game time, I think he would have. But he didn't get the game time because clearly Arne Slot didn't trust him. And I don't blame him for not trusting him because I don't think he did perform in the games that he did come on. But I think Harvey Elliott's a player, if you give him a run of games, he will perform. But you bring him out of the cold for 15 minutes every game, you're not going to get an ample performance out of him. But yeah, that definitely, I've destroyed it on that one. I got a little bit excited. I think I saw him in pre-season and thought, yeah, he's going to be a great player. He's going to be great this season. Definitely not. Although, Liverpool was right. A Liverpool player did win Young Player of the Season, Ryan Gravenberch, so... not that I'm asking for any praise on that because I didn't guess that. But anyway, right. Let's tally these up. I'll use a calculator because I can't be annoyed using my brain. 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. Jesus God, this is terrible. Oh my God. 22 points out of 72. That's awful. That's awful. I got 10 zeros. Did I get 10 zeros? 10 zeros. For 10 of the positions, half of my predictions, I got nothing. Nothing. Oh my God, that's awful. Hold on, I'll show you the the tally. So they're in position order. So the top of the 22 out of 72. So they're in position order. So if you can see that, is it mirrored? It shouldn't be mirrored. There you go. So, oh, no, so I'm not covering them. So there you are. So the top there is 20th place, and then they work their way down to first at the bottom. Who I predicted. So the order I predicted them in is the order that they're there. 22 points out of 72. And then I give myself 3 points for Crystal Palace. I needed it because I would have got 19 points out of 60, which is terrible. Your average points, not counting the extra up to 12 here, is 0.948. Ooh, I love that. And then, oh my goodness me, that was terrible. Terrible. Not good. Not good at all. Hopefully, though, my predictions for next season will be a little bit more predictable. But then again, you never know. I gotta say, though, when your predictions are that bad, you're either terrible at predictions or the season was very good, so it was unpredictable in that way. It was very hard to predict. I might be giving myself an excuse and a way out here, but I think this season was tough. You know, we had Man United, Spurs finishing in the bottom 5, bottom 6 teams. No one would have predicted that. We had Nottingham Forest finishing the top 7. No one would have predicted that. So I think there was some that I thought was really, I was in no way going to predict that. But I think what messed me up was the mid-table. There's a lot of zeros in the mid-table because mid-table's hard. They're so close, and you know there's probably a couple of points in it. I mean, from what was it, 8th? Well, to be fair, there's 18 points between 8th and 14th, but I think a lot of the season it was the teams that were finishing in the bottom half. Who knew where they were going to finish and what was going to happen there? But certainly not good predictions, I can tell you that much. And certainly Golden Boot, I don't think was a bad prediction. Erling Haaland to win the Golden Boot, that's not an awful prediction. But no one could have, again, predicted the season Mo Salah was going to have. Incredible. Martin Odegaard and Harvey Elliott are terrible, though. Absolutely terrible. I mean, what did Martin Odegaard even do this season? Terrible. Awful. Arsenal, awful. Jonas says, yeah, Nottingham was a surprise. From Championship to 16th to 17th to 7th. 100%. I mean, 17th to 7th in one season is nuts. To be in a relegation battle with 32 points finish, and then the next season, double that. They got 65 points. They more than doubled their tally of last season. I think, I don't know what it was, but did they... If I look at their first season, I think they've got more points this season than they did in their first 2 seasons in the Premier League combined. If I'm not wrong on that, I think that's the case. If I check that, I think I might be right. No, they didn't, because they would have got 70. So they were close, but 65 in one season compared to 70 in 2 seasons. That's a massive rise for Nottingham Forest, and no one would have predicted that they would be even in a battle for Europe, even in the top half this season. You know, I mean, I had them relegated, but that's a bit dramatic. But nonetheless, that was my predictions. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I didn't enjoy counting up my tally and finding out how many points I got. How many points did you get if you did any pre-season predictions? Certainly let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it. Do like, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already.